Have you felt the shift in the atmosphere within your home over the last 48 hours? It is a subtle pressure, a heaviness in the air that has nothing to do with the weather and everything to do with a spiritual arrival. You have been waking up in the middle of the night, perhaps around 3 or 4 in the morning, with a sudden feeling of anticipation, or perhaps an unexplained anxiety that makes your heart race before you are even fully awake. Listen to me closely, because this is not insomnia. This is not stress. This is your spirit alerting you that someone is standing at the threshold of your destiny. The universe is currently rearranging the pieces of a broken puzzle, and the final piece is a person who once walked out of your life, leaving a void that you have tried to fill with work, with distractions, and with silence. But the silence is about to be broken. There is a letter being written in a mind before it is even committed to paper. There is a hand reaching for a door knocker. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming, with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. A specific individual from your family, or perhaps someone who felt like family, is currently battling their own pride. And they are losing that battle. They are coming back, and they are bringing a confession that will rewrite the history of your pain. Before we go any further, I need you to understand the magnitude of this moment. We are talking about a divine reversal. You have spent years, maybe decades, being the one who gives, the one who forgives, and the one who waits. You have been the emotional anchor for people who did not know how to swim. And when they drowned, they blamed you for the water. But the dynamic is shifting right now. If you are ready to receive the apology you never thought you would hear, and if you are ready for the restoration of what the locusts have eaten, I want you to click that like button right now. Do not see it as a digital interaction. See it as a spiritual agreement. By liking this video, you are signaling to the universe that you are open, you are watching, and you are ready to receive. And if you have not subscribed yet, do so now, because the sequence of events I am about to describe will unfold rapidly, and you need to be positioned to understand the signs when they appear. Let's talk about the symptoms you have been experiencing, because science and spirituality agree that before a massive event occurs, there are ripples in the field of time. You have felt exhausted lately, haven't you? A bone-deep tiredness that sleep does not cure. You have found yourself thinking about this specific person out of nowhere. You could be driving to work, washing dishes, or sitting in a meeting, and suddenly their face flashes in your mind, or you hear their voice as clearly as if they were standing next to you. You might have brushed this off as a random memory, but in the realm of quantum entanglement, there is no such thing as random. When two people share a deep spiritual bond, even if that bond was severed by conflict or distance, a connection remains. When one person begins to think intensely about the other, it sends a signal, a psychic telephone call, that the other person receives as a sudden thought or a sudden wave of emotion. The reason you cannot get them out of your head right now is because they cannot get you out of theirs. They are obsessed. They are replaying the last conversation you had. They are replaying the way they left. And for the first time in years, they are seeing it through your eyes. This person is currently in a state of spiritual torment. I do not say this to make you happy about their suffering, but to validate your experience. For a long time, it seemed like they moved on effortlessly while you were left to pick up the pieces. It seemed like they were thriving while you were just surviving, but that was an illusion. It was a facade built on pride and distraction. Now, the distractions have failed. The silence of their own life has become deafening, and in that silence, a truth has emerged that they can no longer suppress. They made a mistake, a colossal, life-altering mistake. They walked away from their blessing when they walked away from you. This realization has hit them like a physical blow. It is keeping them up at night. They are pacing their floors, looking at their phone, typing messages, and deleting them, terrified of rejection. They are afraid that it is too late. They are afraid that you have moved on, and that you have realized your worth, a worth they failed to acknowledge when they had the chance. But here is the secret that changes everything. They are not just thinking about returning, they are preparing for it. There is a letter. It may be a physical handwritten letter, which is rare in our digital age, but signifies the weight of what they have to say. Or it may be a long, detailed text message, or an email that has been sitting in their drafts folder for days. This communication contains a secret. It contains the missing piece of information that you have needed for years. Think back to the conflict that separated you. There was always something that didn't add up, wasn't there? A reason they gave that felt hollow, an excuse that didn't make sense. You always felt like there was a third party, a hidden influence, or a secret fear that they weren't telling you. You were right. Your intuition was flawless. And in this upcoming communication, they are going to reveal what was really happening behind the scenes. They are going to tell you about the pressure they were under, the lies they were told by others, or the insecurity that made them sabotage the connection. This revelation will bring you a sense of closure that you didn't think was possible. Why is this happening now? Why, after all this time, is the door about to open? It is because you have finally reached a place of surrender. For a long time, you chased them, either physically or energetically. You wanted them to understand. You wanted to explain your side. You wanted to fix it. But recently, you stopped. You pulled your energy back. You started focusing on your own healing, your own connection with God, your own peace. And in the laws of energetic dynamics, when you stop chasing, you create a vacuum. You create a space that pulls them in. Your absence has become a presence in their life. They are feeling the void of your light, and they are freezing in the coldness of the world without you. They have realized that the people they replaced you with, the new friends, the new partners, the other family members who they thought were easier to deal with, are superficial. They do not have your depth. They do not have your loyalty. They do not pray for them the way you prayed for them. Let's go deeper into the profile of this person, because as I speak, a specific face is appearing in your mind. Trust that image. This is someone who has a history of running when things get emotionally intense. They are avoidant. When you tried to get close, they put up walls. When you tried to love them, they acted like you were attacking them. This behavior wasn't about you. It was about their own unhealed trauma. But something has happened in their life recently. A crisis, a loss, a health scare, or a moment of absolute clarity that has shattered those walls. The armor has fallen off. They are feeling raw and vulnerable, and in this state of vulnerability, their soul is crying out for the only safe harbor they have ever known, you. They remember the way you listened. They remember the warmth of your kitchen, the sound of your laughter, the way you made them feel like they could be themselves. They are starving for that feeling. However, there is a danger here. The danger is not that they won't come back. The danger is that when they do, you might not recognize the package the blessing comes in. They might not show up with flowers and a marching band. They might show up looking broken. They might show up angry at first, because pride fights hardest right before it dies. They might send a testing message, something small and seemingly insignificant, just to see if the door is still unlocked. Do not be deceived by the smallness of the opening. If you receive a random text saying, "Thinking of you," or "I found this old photo," or even just a "hi," do not dismiss it. That is the olive branch. That is the tremor before the earthquake. How you respond to that small opening determines whether the floodgates will open. This is why you must remain grounded. If you react with bitterness, if you lash out with all the pain you have been storing for years, you might scare them back into their shell. This requires wisdom. It requires the patience of a saint. You are being called to be the bigger person one last time, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the peace that comes with reconciliation. I want to pause here and ask you a question. Are you prepared to forgive? This is the hardest part of the equation. We say we want them back, we say we want the apology, but often our ego is waiting with a sword, ready to punish them for the time they were gone. But true spirituality, the kind that changes generations and breaks curses, is about grace. It is about understanding that people act from their level of consciousness, and when they hurt you, they were operating from a place of blindness. Now that their eyes are opening, can you meet them with compassion? I'm not saying you should let them walk all over you. Boundaries are necessary, but can you listen to their confession without interrupting? Can you read the letter without tearing it up? The universe is testing your readiness. If you are holding on to a grudge, your hands are too full to catch the blessing. Type "I am ready to receive" in the comments below if you are willing to put down the sword and open the door. Declare it to the atmosphere. I am ready to receive. Let's look at the timeline. There is a sense of urgency in the spirit realm. This isn't something that will happen in 5 years. We are looking at a window of the next few weeks. There are astrological alignments and spiritual seasons shifting that support reunion and truth-telling. You might notice that things in your life are breaking down, appliances breaking, plans getting cancelled, sudden changes in your schedule. Do not be frustrated. These are interruptions designed to slow you down, so you are home when the knock comes. They are designed to clear your calendar so you have the emotional bandwidth to handle this conversation. God is clearing the deck. He is removing the noise so you can hear the whisper. The letter, let's go back to the letter. Whether it is digital or paper, the contents of this message will shock you. They are going to admit to something you never suspected. Perhaps they were jealous of you. This is a very common dynamic in families and close relationships. They saw your light, your resilience, your ability to bounce back, and instead of being inspired, they felt inferior. They tried to dim your light to make themselves feel brighter. They are going to confess this. They are going to admit that they competed with you in their mind while you were just trying to love them. Hearing this will be painful, but it will also be incredibly liberating. You will finally understand that the bad treatment was never about your inadequacy. It was about your power. You intimidated their demons. And now that they have tamed their demons, they can finally appreciate your power. There is also a financial or material aspect to this return. For many of you, this separation involved money, inheritance, property, or a shared business. You were cheated. You were left with the short end of the stick. You swallowed the loss because you valued peace over conflict. But the wheel of karma turns slowly and grinds exceedingly fine. This person is realizing that the money they took or the advantage they gained at your expense has brought them no joy. In fact, it has been cursed. Everything they built on the foundation of betraying you has crumbled. They are coming back to make restitution. This might not mean they cut you a check immediately, but the intent to balance the scales is there. They know they cannot move forward in their own life until they repair the damage they did to yours. This is a spiritual law. You cannot build a blessed future on a foundation of unacknowledged theft. They are feeling the blockage in their own life, and they know the only key to unlock their own abundance is to do right by you. Imagine the scene. It is a Tuesday evening, or perhaps a quiet Sunday afternoon. You are going about your routine. The house is quiet. Suddenly the phone buzzes or the doorbell rings. Your heart skips a beat before you even know who it is. That is your soul recognizing the energetic signature of the visitor. You open the door, or you open the message, and there it is. The first words might be hesitant. I don't know if you want to hear from me. I've been thinking. I was wrong. As you read or listen, you feel a heavy coat slipping off your shoulders. It is the coat of rejection you've been wearing for years. You realize that you were never rejected. You were hidden. You were being protected from them while they were toxic. And now that they are being purified, they are being allowed back in. This reunion is not just about two people. It is about generational healing. Many of you come from families where cutting people off is the norm, where grudges are held for decades, where siblings don't speak, and parents and children are estranged. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one chosen to endure the pain of separation so that you could learn the value of reconciliation. This person returning is the test of your mastery. If you can navigate this with love and boundaries, you heal the bloodline. You set a new standard for the generations coming after you. You are showing that love is stronger than pride. This is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you apart. This is why the misunderstanding was so huge, so irrational, because the unity between you two is dangerous to the dark. When you stand together, you are a force. But what if you are afraid? What if you are thinking, I can't go through this again, I can't let them in just to be hurt again? That is a valid fear. But I want you to look at the person coming back. Look closely at their energy. They are not the same person who left. Life has humbled them. Suffering has softened them. They have aged, not just in years, but in wisdom. They have scars now, just like you. The arrogance is gone, replaced by a quiet gratitude. They are not coming to conquer you. They are coming to surrender to the love they foolishly walked away from. You will see it in their eyes. You will hear it in the tremble of their voice. This is not a power play. It is a plea for redemption. However, you must be discerning. There is a difference between a true apology and a manipulation. A true apology has three parts: admission of what they did, acknowledgement of how it hurt you, and a plan to ensure it doesn't happen again. If they just say, I'm sorry you felt that way, that is not an apology, that is gaslighting. If they say, let's just forget the past, that is avoidance. You must hold out for the real thing. And the prophecy over your life right now suggests that the real thing is coming. They have rehearsed this. They have written drafts of the letter. They have consulted with their own conscience. They know that you are not a fool, and they know that you will not accept crumbs anymore. They are bringing the whole loaf of bread. I want to speak to the loneliness you have felt. It has been a specific kind of loneliness. The loneliness of being the black sheep, the scapegoat, or the strong one that nobody checks on. You have cried tears that nobody saw. You have prayed prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling. But God collected every tear. He heard every prayer, and He has been working on the heart of your offender. You thought nothing was happening because you couldn't see it. But just as a seed grows in the dark soil before it breaks the surface, the change in this person has been growing in the dark. They had to go through a winter of the soul to be ready for the spring of reconciliation. They had to lose everything to realize that you were the only thing that mattered. Now, a practical instruction. In the coming days, keep your vibration high. Do not engage in gossip. Do not revisit old arguments in your head. If you catch yourself arguing with them in your imagination, stop. Cancel that thought. Replace it with a visualization of peace. Visualize the two of you sitting down, perhaps over coffee or tea, speaking calmly. Visualize the bridge being rebuilt. Your thoughts are the blueprint for the reality that is constructing itself. If you build a battlefield in your mind, they will show up with armor. If you build a sanctuary, they will show up with an offering. You are the architect of this reunion. There is a specific detail I need to share. For some of you, the number 7 is significant. It might be 7 days, 7 weeks, or the 7th of the month. Or perhaps it has been 7 years since the separation. The number 7 represents completion and perfection in spiritual numerology. It signals that the cycle of separation is complete. The lesson has been learned. The wilderness journey is over. Watch for the number 7. It is a confirmation that the timing is divine, not random. Also, pay attention to your dreams. In the nights leading up to this contact, you will likely dream of them. These will not be chaotic dreams. They will be vivid, hyper-realistic encounters. You might dream that they are handing you a package, or that you are hugging them and you can actually feel the warmth of their skin. These are visitation dreams. Their higher self is visiting your higher self to ask for permission to enter your physical reality. If you wake up from such a dream feeling peaceful, know that the physical manifestation is only hours or days away. The letter mentioned in the title of this message is symbolic, but for many, it will be literal. Writing is an act of vulnerability. It takes time. It cannot be blurted out in a moment of anger. When someone writes to you, they are taking the time to curate their thoughts, to make sure they say exactly what they mean. This person has a lot to explain. They know that a phone call might get heated. They know they might lose their nerve if they look you in the eye, so they are writing it down. When you receive this letter or this long message, find a quiet place to read it. Do not read it in the rush of traffic or at your desk at work. Give it the sacred space it deserves. Read it once to get the emotion, and then read it again to understand the facts. You will see between the lines. You will see the fear they carried. You will see the love that was buried under the fear. You might be wondering, what if I don't want them back? That is your prerogative. Free will is the highest law. Just because they return does not mean you have to open the door. But remember this, forgiveness is for you, not for them. Even if you decide that the relationship cannot be restored to what it was, receiving their apology, reading their letter, and acknowledging their regret will cut the energetic cord that has been draining you. It will allow you to finally put the bag down. You can forgive them and still wish them well from a distance, but do not close the door before you hear what they have to say. The universe has gone to great lengths to orchestrate this moment. There is a blessing in the message, even if the blessing is simply the final validation that you were right all along. But for the majority of you, this is not just about closure, it is about a new beginning. It is about a relationship 2.0, a version of the relationship that is based on truth, respect, and mutual understanding. The person returning has learned that they cannot control you. They have learned that they cannot take you for granted. They are coming back to be a partner, a true family member, a true friend. They want to be part of your future because they have seen how bleak their future looks without you. As we approach the end of this revelation, I want you to feel the weight of what is coming. It is a good weight. It is the weight of gold, not lead. It is the abundance of relationships restored. The holidays this year will look different. The empty chair at the table will be filled. The silence on the phone will be replaced by laughter. The awkwardness will be replaced by grace. But it all starts with the knock at the door. It starts with the notification on your screen. It starts with the letter. Do not let fear sabotage this. The enemy of your soul wants you to stay isolated, bitter, and lonely. He wants you to think that everyone leaves and nobody stays. Prove him wrong. Stand in your authority. You are a child of the Most High, and you are worthy of love that returns. You are worthy of people who realize your value. You are worthy of the apology. I want to challenge you. In the comments, I want you to write the initials of the person you believe this is about. You don't have to write their full name, keep their privacy, but put their initials out there. Anchoring it in the physical realm helps to pull the energy through. And if you don't have a specific person in mind, but you feel the resonance of this message, write God's will. Trust that the universe knows the address. Before you click away, remember that this channel is a community of light. We support each other here. If you see someone else's comment, give it a like. Send them a prayer. We are all connected in this web of consciousness. Your breakthrough is connected to my breakthrough. When one of us heals, we all heal. The door is about to open. The footsteps are approaching. The letter is written. The seal is being broken. Take a deep breath. Center yourself. You are safe, you are loved, and you are about to be vindicated. This is the moment where the script flips. This is the moment where the underdog wins. This is the moment where the one who was rejected becomes the cornerstone. Get ready. Keep your eyes open. Check your spam folder. Check your mailbox. Listen to the silence. It is about to speak. The next few days are critical. Stay prayed up, stay hydrated, stay open. The miracle is in motion, and remember, the comeback is always stronger than the setback. I will see you in the next video with the testimony of what has occurred. Until then, walk in faith, not in fear. The letter will change everything. Peace be with you. But do not mistake this peace for passivity. There is a secret phase that occurs between the moment you claim your victory in the spirit and the moment it manifests in the physical world. This is the phase where most people fail. They feel the peace, they claim the return, but then when the physical reality lags behind, even by a few hours or days, they panic. They check their phone 50 times an hour. They stalk social media profiles looking for clues. In doing so, they dig up the seed they just planted to see if it has roots. You must understand the physics of this delay. In the scientific world, we know that light travels faster than sound. You see the lightning before you hear the thunder. In the spiritual realm, the energetic shift happens instantaneously, but the 3D reality, the sound, takes time to catch up. The next 72 hours are what I call the echo chamber. This is where the universe tests your resolve. You might experience a sudden wave of doubt, a heavy feeling in your chest, or even a vivid nightmare where this person rejects you again. Do not be fooled. This is not a premonition of the future. It is the purging of the past. It is the old energy leaving your body to make room for the new timeline. When you feel that anxiety rising, I want you to say out loud, "This is just the dust settling. My house is built on rock." We must also talk about the phenomenon of the phantom ring. Many of my clients report hearing their phone vibrate or ring, only to check it and see a black screen, or they smell this person's cologne or perfume in a crowded store where that person could not possibly be. If this happens to you, do not brush it off as your imagination playing tricks on you. Quantum entanglement suggests that particles once connected remain connected, regardless of distance. When their higher self begins to scream for your presence, when their soul starts running back to you before their physical body does, it creates ripples in your sensory field. You are sensing their approach. However, this brings me to a critical warning. The moment you sense them coming back, your ego will want to reach out. You will rationalize it. You will think, maybe I should just send a casual text to open the door. Stop. Put the phone down. This is the trap. If you reach out now, you interrupt the magnetic pull you have created. You flip the dynamic back to chasing. You must let them cross the threshold. They must be the one to break the silence. Why? Because the person who initiates the return is the person who is admitting the need. If you initiate, you are soothing their anxiety. If you wait, you force them to confront their own truth, that they cannot live without you. Let them sit in that fire. It is the fire that forges a stronger commitment. While you wait, you have a job to do. You must prepare the vessel. Imagine if they knocked on your door right now, and your house was a mess, you hadn't showered, and you were crying on the floor. Is that the version of you that commands respect? No. The version of you that attracts a high-value reconciliation is the version that is thriving. Over the next few days, I want you to engage in what psychology calls acts of self-signaling. Dress your best, even if you are just going to the grocery store. Clean your car, organize your finances, go to the gym. When you act like someone who is expecting a guest of honor, the universe rushes to send the guest. There is a specific frequency of readiness that is irresistible. Think about a time in your life when you finally got over an ex, started dating someone new, and suddenly that ex called you. Why? Because you vacated the energy of waiting and entered the energy of living. You became a moving target. Human beings are hardwired to chase what is moving away from them, not what is sitting still. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.